I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching TVP World Talks. The European Union has greenlit its 19th package of sanctions against Russia, yet conspicuous by its absence was a decision on frozen Russian assets again. With Belgium still unconvinced as to the legal details, frustration grows over Europe's inability to power up what could prove a powerful financial engine for the Ukrainian economy and defense. Joining us here today to discuss this is Mariia Ionova, Ukrainian MP, co-founder of the Ukrainian Women's Congress. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Hello, thank you for inviting. Yes, yesterday we just provided the 9th Ukrainian Women Congress, and we really have been inspired by military and by also a lot of heads of communities, how resilient they are, and also as a representative of European Solidarity Faction, would like also to greet you as I think that we are very strong and fighting. And regarding your questions, of course, we would like to be more decisive. Our European friends should be on the sanction policy on another. To have this example of Ukrainian, also women and men.
So now let's actually talk about the European Union and its response to what Russia has been doing. I mean, every single day we see footage on the news, such as a kindergarten that was hit by a Russian missile or drone. And in spite of all this, the European Union again has not been managed to agree upon the confiscation of Russian assets. Actually, not confiscation. This was supposed to be a loan secured against these assets. So that was intended to essentially accommodate all the concerns of Belgium, which holds most of these assets today within Euroclear. And even because, in spite of these efforts, there has still been no progress. What do you make of that? Doesn't this make our diplomatic efforts look insufficient, to say the least?
First of all, you are right that recent nights, the whole Ukraine have survived yet another brutal attack. And not only in Kharkiv, in Kiev also. And really, Russia would like to send us into an energy dark, and also it is not just the pressure, it's absolutely pure terror, and again it's about civilians, and that is why it is obvious finally that Russia is a terroristic state, because these strikes have no military impact, as you see. You have mentioned also Kharkiv, and that is why they would like us only to capitulate. But it will not work, because everyone here in Ukraine really shares the same approach. Moscow failed, either it will fail again. So that is why it's just for us and for Europe, by the way, in European Union. These attacks remind that the war is really brutal and ongoing, and also that Ukraine cannot be broken. And yes, together we are looking for decisions how to make Russia also to defeat and also to weaken this military machine and all the things. So that is why my message is only that Ukraine and Europe are fully aligned, and also all these recent statements points to this very fact. And the decision also forward is clear, like more air defense, more sanctions, and more unity. So we have to strengthen Ukraine's defense, supporting in economy and reinforcing the political also will to resist aggression. Europe understands that this war is not just about Ukraine, it's about really future of entire continent, and that is why, for example, even such long-term conversations and discussions regarding this legislation on, we name it as a reparation. Yes, you are right. This is like a loan. So it's two sides. First, who will vote for that? And also we understand that some countries would like to share the responsibility of this. So I think that we had already such examples in the history, and I think that we have to be really more operative and decisive, and to find really solutions, because it will be a very strong signal from Europe to Russia Federation that they have to stop. And again,
that's a very good point, actually.
So
but when you say that it would be a very strong signal for Russia to stop, but if there is no agreement on the issue, this will be a very ill-advised signal from the European Union that Russia can do lots of economic damage to Ukraine, but also potentially to the European Union, even by constantly threatening an attack and therefore requiring more and more expenditure on defense, while at the same time its own funds are off limits. They cannot be taken, they cannot be used as any sort of collateral for a loan, because apparently legal considerations are more important than the objective to be achieved, saving human lives in Ukraine and preventing an economic decline in the EU. So that begs the question. You said that the EU understands that this is not just about Ukraine, it's about European security. But do the decision makers understand the significance of this? Because judging by this situation, one is actually tempted to say, well, they might actually not understand this.
You are right that, of course, as Ukrainian, we cannot be satisfied with the timing. And of course, we would like our partners to be more fast and to have this speed as in wartime. And believe us, it's in interest of Europe, it's in interest of Ukraine to stay Europe strong and also to make Ukraine more stronger by weapons and by sanction policy, because it's about our common future and our common security. And that is why it's not only about this legislation, it's also about air defense, it's also about at least, for example, Russian fleet, yes, which is under sanctions only 200 units, but they have a shadow fleet more than 1,000. That is why it's really about decisive and operative decisions. And when we are talking about air defense, again, while we are discussing together with our European friends, Russians are moving and really they're controlling sky. So that is why we have to have this priority to see everything and to control sky. And it is possible together with our European security sector and defense sector. Again, it's about political will. You're right. And that is why, of course, it's, it's not a complaining. It's just the fact that we have to act more efficient, more operative, more fast, because enemy is not sleeping. Enemy is really very improving his their military machine, and they are like production there is increasing. So we have to also see to all these facts. That is why yes, discussions, but more decisions and more results than all the statements and so on. We cannot fight with the flag and with the statements.
So apparently there's going to be another summit.
Technologically very strong.
In December, there's going to be another summit. And now Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk said, okay, if we are to have another summit, let's make sure that this is when we reach a decision. Are we doing this, the Russian frozen assets? Are we not doing this? Do you think that finally we're going to see a resolution, especially given that there is some momentum now in the United States? There are new sanctions imposed by the Trump administration. Perhaps the European Union wouldn't like to be seen as being left behind in this discussion, since so far we were often criticizing the US and not doing enough in this regard. What if actually the momentum shifts to Washington? Do you think the EU will have more of an incentive to follow up on this?
Of course, this transatlantic unity and transatlantic decisions, it's really strengthening all the free world and all the democratic countries. But again, we have also to be more operative and to be more on the results, and really not like summit to summit, summit to summit, even if any decisions. Please, we need, even not publicly, but we need the results. And also, it's about air defense, it's about air production, because it's also about Poland, it's about Romania, it's about EU countries. And that is why we have to be prepared, and we are looking forward to have the results. Some actions it is possible to do, really possible to do. Just do it, because Russians, they are okay. I mean, they are doing their job, and nobody is on their way as the production of spare parts and the sanction policy. It's fine for them. That is why, and also, of course, but if we will be together with US, it will be more strong message. And we see also in the messaging how Moscow is hysterical. So I think that we have just to follow the strategy, to have strong sanctions, to have actions, decisions, to strengthen Ukraine air defense, European air defense, and again, more sanctions on Russia Federation. Sorry, I have to go.
Mariia Ionova was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your insight. I'm Jonasz, you're watching TVP World. Please stay with us for more latest news and updates.